Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our region's business, improving our economy, creating jobs, and strengthening communities. Innovation, collaboration, transformation, and the people making it happen. Join us as we take a closer look at our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, these are tumultuous times in the world of higher education, with a declining population of 18-year-olds nationwide and a rising concern about rising costs and student loan debt pretty much everywhere. We'll meet the new leaders at the helm of 3 local universities, Chatham, Robert Morris, and Penn State Greater Allegheny, to find out about their plans for the future. But first, what's ahead for our region now that Donald Trump has been sworn in as the 45th President of the United States? Matt Smith has been tracking the issues likely to have the biggest local impact. He's president of the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, which we need to mention is part of the Allegheny Conference, which co-produces this program. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Great to be with you.
Yeah, so we are at a momentous moment, I guess, in American history right now, huh?
Yeah, and as with any new administration and new Congress, they present challenges, they present opportunities, and I think it's incumbent on us, on our advocacy team, to make sure that we recognize the opportunities, we take advantage of those, we're prepared to address the challenges, but really go in with a plan and an agenda that we know will benefit and will improve the economy and the quality of life here in southwestern Pennsylvania.
You know, so many things were said on the campaign trail, so how do you begin to make sense of it and actually develop a strategy at the very beginning of an administration?
Well, some of it's overlap. I mean, what you work on in one Congress and under one administration will frequently carry over to the next. And so our big agenda item, as with the Great Lakes Metro Chambers Coalition, who we do a lot of our federal work through, is infrastructure. And we look at infrastructure as an opportunity for a new administration and a new Congress to come in, work in a bipartisan way, work with the business community as well as the labor community, and address one of the most pressing challenges, and that most people agree is the most pressing challenge facing not only our region but our country. And that's thoughtful, strategic, robust infrastructure investment.
And there was a lot of talk about that, and certainly the president himself on the campaign trail made a big deal about the need for more infrastructure investment.
Yeah, and the one thing, the way that we look at it, we define infrastructure broadly. You know, infrastructure includes in our mind roads, bridges, highways, public transportation systems, waterways, airports, and even storm and sewer water. And we're looking into that at the federal level to see if there's investment in Washington, D.C. to support this region. But I think, you know, when we look at it, we want to make the case to our federal lawmakers, much as we did in the last session, that this is an investment for this region that will pay off in a big way.
Yeah, you talk about highways, you talk about water. There actually was some progress in the waning years of the Obama administration on that front.
Big progress last year. Not only did we do the FAST Act, which was a highway trust fund reauthorization bill, but late last year, the WIN Act, the Water Infrastructure Investment Now Act, was passed, and it included a critical authorization for what's referred to as the Upper Ohio River Navigation System, a set of 3 locks and dams, Emsworth, Montgomery, and Dashield, on the Upper Ohio River system that has been in a state of disrepair for a number of years. And so we really realigned a lot of our efforts in Washington last year to focus on getting that particular project authorized in the WIN Act. And much of what we'll do this year, we'll be carrying that forward, ensuring that that money is now appropriated.
Okay.
Because it was authorized last year doesn't necessarily guarantee that money will be appropriated. So we need to make sure the money is appropriated. It's about $2.6 billion investment in our region, and it's really critical for the waterways in a number of different aspects. If you're a boater, you should care about the strength and viability of our waterways. If you drink the water that's provided by our rivers, you should care about the waterways. And of course, from the business community end, we really care about it because it's one of the most critical arteries to move goods and commodities and everything that drives our economy. So we need to make sure that that's a robust system.
Talk about a two-step process. In that case, it's authorization and then appropriation. You had another two-step process which the Chamber worked on in recent years, and that was the reauthorization of the Ex-Im Bank.
Yeah.
That's not quite a done deal itself, right?
Not quite a done deal. Again, an example of efforts in one session and under one administration that really carries over. The Export-Import Bank of the United States, and there was a lot of talk during the campaign about exports, about trade, and we're certainly supportive of free and fair trade, and one of the ways that we ensure it is through support of the Export-Import Bank, which provides critical financing for our region's exporters, from Westinghouse in Butler County to Aquatech in Washington County, and it enables them to compete with their foreign competitors, who in most cases are backed by that particular country's financing bank. So really, from our perspective, it's a wise investment. It returns on investment for the federal government to the tune of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, put back into the federal treasury. And from our perspective, it's really a playing field leveler more than anything else. It provides our exporters with the same resources that their competitors are receiving in other countries, and it really levels that playing field for companies here in Western Pennsylvania.
A lot of talk about energy and what the future could hold. Again, Mr. Trump seemed to be pretty pro-energy, pretty pro-energy production.
Yeah, we're really going to build off of a lot of the efforts. Again, last session, there were two bills that passed the Senate and the House respectively, overwhelming bipartisan majorities. Unfortunately, through the conference committee process, they weren't able to resolve their differences, but we really view it as that is the starting point. We're going to start with those bills, and they did a lot of important things around grid reliability, energy modernization, energy workforce is really critical components that were included in that legislation. We're going to use that as the starting point and really try to build out a robust system that ensures grid reliability and ensures access to our homegrown energy in a very responsible way here in southwestern Pennsylvania.
All right, well, plenty to work on. Matt Smith from the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And next up, the one-time Steel City is every bit as much of a college city these days. We'll focus on the business of higher education and its impact on our region with the new leaders of 3 local universities. Stay with us.